Right now, consumer confidence is down as recession fears spread. According to the Wall Street analyst, this comes as the second Trump administration is marking 100 days in office.
Tonight, our I-Team examines the rising cost of groceries and housing and how tariffs could contribute to even more increases.
Consumer investigator Jason Knowles tonight with what you need to know and what you can do. Jason.
Cheryl, Rob, inflation has been gripping consumers' wallets for years now. It's the reason some say they voted for President Trump, hoping he could bring down the cost of living. Now the I-Team is asking about grocery and housing price hikes and what you can do to save.
It gives me a lot of anxiety.
Devon Bridges says overall costs like housing and groceries have him on edge, but he's taking action at the store.
It's a fun game to me to see how much I'm able to save.
He uses coupons to create his shopping list and doesn't buy what he doesn't need.
Initially, it was like $100-something, but I ended up only paying like $58.
Wow, you saved a lot of money.
I did.
Bridges showed me the receipt and his savings.
Yeah, so I ended up saving $56.95.
The overall inflation rate is down slightly, but the recent consumer price index shows overall food prices increased 0.4% month to month, and food increased 3% compared to this time last year. Grocery analyst Phil Lempert, also known as the supermarket guru, says consumers should brace for higher costs.
If we take a look at higher labor costs, we take a look at higher energy costs, and we take a look at climate change, all three of those factors are really affecting why food prices are as high as they are. And frankly, they're never going to go down.
Never going to go down?
Never going to go down until we can wrap our hands around climate change. Every food product of those 40,000 food products that are in the traditional supermarket, every one of them started in the ground. Until we can get under control fires and droughts and flooding, we're still going to have higher input costs.
The White House says that gas and diesel prices are lower due to what it calls a pro-drilling and deregulatory approach, which is critical to lowering costs for the farming and transport of food. But Lempert says tariffs could also increase food costs.
It's estimated that grocery costs, because of the tariffs, are going to go up about 2.8%. That's on top of the 26% increase that we've had since the pandemic. We've got to use those digital coupons. We've got to use those frequent shopper cards. The best thing that we can do is stop wasting our food. 40% of all of our food, according to USDA, is wasted.
Living expenses are up too. The consumer price index for shelter, including energy, is up year to year by 4%. And what about the American dream of buying a home?
83% point to one or more affordability challenges as to why they don't currently own a home.
Greg McBride, a chief financial analyst at Bankrate.com, says tariffs could increase the price of newly constructed housing.
Tariffs do result in higher prices of construction. That may not take hold immediately simply because there's an overhang of inventory of homes that have already been built but not yet sold. And so builders are likely to work down that inventory before they break ground on new construction.
And financing a new home can also be more challenging, with the average 30-year fixed-rate mortgage at around 6.8%.
Mortgage rates aren't going to come down unless inflation comes down, and the imposition of tariffs, if anything, that threatens to push inflation even higher.
Experts say you should still watch for lower mortgage rates. Even if the rates go down slightly, it may be worth it to refinance. It is a lot to think about as consumers are also bracing for increased prices of appliances, electronics, and clothing because of tariffs. Rob, Cheryl, we do have a tariff explainer about that on our free news app on our website. You saw it earlier at 4:30. Check it out on our website. It's worth the watch and the share.
Yeah, you really broke it down to terms that we really could understand,
Right.
products that we buy every day. Great job. Thanks so much for that.
Appreciate you as always. We have much more coverage of the president's first 100 days in office. You get that news app Jason talked about, or our website for more stories from Eyewitness News and ABC News.